My name is Jessica Smith, and this is my persuasive speech. I'm sorry it's a little gritty. I had to use my cell phone, but thanks for the opportunity to let me do this because work just wouldn't allow me off. I'm going to talk to you guys today about testing for welfare recipients. I feel like it is definitely something that needs to happen throughout the United States, not necessarily for taxpayers' money, but for the children who are supposed to receive the benefits, but their parents are taking the money or their guardians taking the money and using it for wrong. I come to you from being one of those recipients when I was younger, when I was living with my birth mother, and she was taking the money and using it for wrong. So myself and my brothers would go weeks without food because she was taking the money that the government gave her for us and using it for drugs. So I think that at this point in time, it's about the children, not about the money, because whether we use the money for welfare recipients or we use the money for the actual drug testing, the money has to be spent. But it's the children who are losing out because their guardian or their parent is not using the money in the right way. Just doing research about this topic, I've come across a couple of things that was just enlightening to me because I didn't even really know how crucial it is that we do this. Taking the time to just learn what it takes and the money that's spent on getting the testing done, it's minuscule to children that are being lost in the system because their parents are chasing a high or they're taking the money and doing other things with it. So, according to the National Conference of Legislators, it is that 15 states have already passed the law where someone has to drug test themselves to get state benefits, which I think is awesome. We have 30 plus more states that need to do this as well because at this point we cannot lose our children. We have 80% of children that are in those states that are on welfare that are not getting benefits because someone or their guardian or their parent is not doing what they need to do. According to National Launch, it's the 80% of the children are of working parents who need the benefits but don't make enough. So low income parents. But I think that that doesn't mean that the children should not have 100% clean parents or clean guardians that could give them the funds that they need to make sure they maintain a normal lifestyle. Not anything lavish, but just the basic needs that every child needs to get through life until they're old enough to take care of themselves. And then it's just at this point, I think we need to take these steps because there's too many children that are lost, that are hungry, and it could be prevented because we're not taking, as the responsible citizens, the necessary steps to make sure that the funds that we have in place for the children are going to the children. And then I'm seeing that if a parent tests positive for drugs or the guardian tests positive for drugs, then the state will then give it to someone else so that the children still gets the funds, but that person must drug test as well. And that's according to the Texas Tribune, which is great because now the children don't lose out on the money. The parent has to be not reprimanded, but the parent will then have to go into a program. And then the new person who's getting the funds also has to drug test so that we know that the child is getting what it needs. And last but not least, which is far from what we would think because Florida is such a liberal state, You would never think that the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, would have the best and straight to the point, simple solution to the whole thing. And that was, this will give people the incentive to get off of drugs if they know that they do not have a way to buy the drugs. So I think that in the end, if we give the people who are using the drugs no money, the children benefit from their parents being clean, their guardian being clean, and then being able to have somewhat of a normal life. Thank you.